Hello, lovely people. Checking around town. Again, let's see. Oh gosh, I have to refresh this. This is what I get for being on Facebook right before I'm going to do this, and then I have to um, unlock this guy. There we go. Just checking around town, making sure we're live everywhere. So far, so good. And just one more. Let's see here. I turned my phone off, so I can't even look at my phone. That was dumb. Let's see. Let us. Yes, we are live everywhere. How's the sound? How's everybody doing? TGIF. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Tammy, happy Friday to you too. I know I actually logged on. I had so I have a green screen behind me, in not behind me here. This is actually my my house, my dining room and everything. But in front of me, because I get dots and I forgot to raise the green screen. So at the last minute I was raising it up. So I'm like probably one of the weirdest people that has a green screen in front of them instead of behind. So there we are. Hi Janet, welcome. TGIF, happy Friday. Hi Richard, nice to see you. Picture sound are good. You're like my sound check. I love it. And so thank you so much. I am well. It beats the heck out of that whole COVID thing. The Some people were fondly calling the plague. I don't know. I don't think it was a plague. But it was just a thing. So yeah, how's everybody doing? It was a very energetic week this week. And we will get into that today. What do you think of the background? So here's the thing that I love is I love Halloween, and I talked about it on the Coffee and Insight last Sunday. I just love Halloween. I haven't decorated my house yet because I'm having some construction done next week, and I'm having it cleaned on Tuesday. And first time I've had somebody in probably, oh my God, like more than 10 years. So I'm going to be really happy to let someone else do it for a minute, which is going to be fun. But then you will see I have little witches and cats and all kinds of things. But wow, hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. Happy end of your week. And welcome to TGIF for the curious and enlightened. Hey, Julie, nice to see you. Thank you for coming. I love when people show up. I think I'm getting a little bit better, with this whole thing. So for those of you, I mean, you all know me, right? Or you can read the description and everything. And I think I left Julie's up there, but everybody's saying hello to everybody else. And I'm your host, Debbie Tatel from Spirit Light Insight. I'm a clairvoyant. I'm a teacher. I'm all those things. And I am your host today. Okay, so this is not from a cold, and I am not picking my nose. I know this is like terrible to do on screen, but I have all these cats and hair gets everywhere, including up my nose. So anyway, so welcome everyone and happy weekend. I don't know about you, but I'm super happy for this weekend to be here because I think it was kind of a rocky week. Yeah. There were some really cool things and fun things that happened. Hi, Mom. Mom saying hello to everyone, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook or wherever you are. In fact, the best viewing is actually on YouTube. It's on the Facebook description and everything that you can access it from here. But you're welcome to be wherever you are, because we are wherever we are, right? But this week was super exciting. I introduced my psychic healing students to their healing masters, which was, it's always so fun to do that. And I love the faces, even though everybody's kind of in trance and everything like that. But I love introducing my students to their healing masters, because these are very specific. These are a little bit different than guides. These are actually energy healing masters who want to learn about spirit. So all of that was in the forefront of my mind, really a lot of spirit and what's going on in spirit. And I'll just say hello to this, because Julie is saying, hi, Mom. I miss my mom and others so much. You're blessed. It's true. They're here with us, though, in spirit. Believe me, I can feel them. In fact, we have, regardless of how many bodies like we have physically watching, and I so appreciate all the physical bodies watching, but our loved ones and those who have transitioned are always around us. And this is the month for, this is October, where spirits walk the earth. And it's not about like mummies and zombies and things like that. Zombies, by the way, are just beings, spirits that are unaware. But they're all around us. And it's nice to feel all of that. So welcome here, and we welcome your mom, Julie, even on the other side, wherever she's at. So how was everybody's week? Like, mine was a total mixed bag of energy. On one hand, I actually had a lot more readings and some new people, and I watched people break through these like years of PTSD and trauma in the readings. And then on the other side of that, I became apparently the empath of all empaths or something, but I had to turn off the news because it was really, really affecting me. But not what they were saying, but the energy underneath it. And so I had to turn off the news as a self-care choice. And so when Tammy's talking about the spirits, the only thing knowing spirits are here. The week was busy and tiring. Yeah, it was busy and tiring. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to do this show, where I called it The Silent Influencer, the Collective Consciousness, because we're going to talk about that in a little bit, because it's really been, it was a rough energy this week, even though there were like really amazing high points and things like that. And Dan the Man, welcome. Welcome. Thank you for coming. I love it. So, so I do want to do the wrap up, even though it's going to seem like, if we were to judge it, that it's sort of negative, but it's not really. So bear with me as I talk about it and then wrap it up in a nice little bow, because it's really hard to address one side of the world's video game we're playing, and know, and you know what they say, right? Whoever they are. I don't know who said it. You can always verify who said it with me, but if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything. Yeah. And it's really has been a roller coaster week for anybody who's sensitive. It's been a roller coaster week, because this collective consciousness was like this. Well, I'll talk about it. It's like a rolling river, and we have to talk about the energy. We have to talk about what we are judging as, and I want to be really careful and specific with my words, because what we are judging as good or bad, and not just energy. So I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer, but we can't bury our heads in the sand. Yeah. Especially when we're saying hello to energy. I mean, many people want to have the quote unquote what people consider gifts that actually everybody has. It's just who's using it and practicing it and strengthening that psychic muscle. But all of us have this, and many people want to, you know, oh, I want to see the future, or oh, I want to see my loved one, communicate with my loved one who's crossed over, and all those things are great. I want to be in a positive light all the time. That's not even realistic. But what we can do is say hello to the energies that we see. We can be clairvoyant. We can look at it from the center of our heads, from a neutral space. And then we don't need to match or add to the energy that's out there. And that's why I wanted to bring this up and talk about it um, with everyone, right? Because it's all about our awareness and what we're aware of. So, what I noticed playing out in the world this week was an amping up of fear. I myself personally felt like, um, well, here's I think light workers and empaths and sensitives, anybody teaching this or doing readings or anything is getting hit with this sort of big energy, right? This big invalidation. Because I was like, oh, I don't know why I'm doing this YouTube. Nobody's, it's terrible, or I'm teaching and I don't know why, and all of that. And I was going through all of this and I realized that I was just sitting in this kind of fear and invalidation and isolation. Yeah. And then when I sat back and I started looking at the energy of the week, um, what I noticed is all of that fear, just it's like somebody stoking the fire of fear, and how fear usually rears its head is to cause chaos and isolation. So these are not particular to me or you or the US or Canada or anywhere else in the world. These are global energies of the collective consciousness, right? That's what I was noticing as I saw this big giant river of sort of fear and pain and isolation. I was like, what is that? And I realized how much that was affecting me. And then I started to look at all the folks out there, you all that come every week, my friends on Facebook, just all the way around. And that's when I realized it was this stream of collective consciousness. And then in addition to that, and one of my friends, one of my colleagues, and actually the person who holds space in my workshop. So Denise, if you're out there, shout out to Denise for doing that. She started seeing other spiritual leaders, do videos and things like that about the collective consciousness and how it is putting us in a very isolated space. Right. And I don't think that it's particular to light workers. I think, if you have everybody in a separate room and nobody's communicating, you can control those folks much, much, much easier than when people are in communication and adding light and adding joy or whatever it is that we are adding to the collective. So it's not just me seeing it. Yeah. The empaths, Tammy just put in here, empaths. Empaths are feeling it. If you're an empath, you are feeling it. So if you've been off, or my gosh, the other day I was driving and I just went into a total rage over absolutely nothing. And I realized it wasn't my energy. I had matched some kind of wave of energy that came through. And then, interestingly enough, I found out there were all kinds of sirens and everything. And I found out that there was a shooting down the street, probably about 4 blocks away. So this is how it can work on us. Yeah. Welcome, Marianne. Hi. Nice to see you. I hope you're feeling better. So there's this fear. It's all being put out there. And drop in the comments, kind of what you're sensing, what you're feeling too, because each and every one of you, I just sit back and I look at it so that I can share this with you. But as I'm bringing it up, you all may be noticing something coming up for you. Yeah. So we have our fear, right? Those are the things that we're afraid of. We don't want to, we're afraid we might be homeless one day, or we're afraid that, oh, who knows? We have all kinds of different fears that come and go. Maybe we have fears when we're younger and they change when we're older, but we have our own fear. But then there's the fear that the powers that be, to be remain nameless, use to control the narrative. And here, and Janet's saying, yes, it gets overwhelming. It is. It's very overwhelming, especially that fear, because fear comes out in anger. Fear comes out in violence. And that's what we're watching. But I want to kind of say that fear, like, there's certain folks that are really connecting to it and realizing how much they can use fear to control the narrative and to control the people and to control they don't know necessarily, they're not conscious of it, but the collective consciousness. So it's really something to be said to kind of look at what we're being affected by that's not personal to us. Right? And this really is a clairvoyant thing that you do. You might think of it as just thinking about it or, noticing it. But if you can step out of any kind of blame game and any kind of, oh, it's the media, oh, it's the politics, oh, it's this, oh, it's that. Here it is. It's all of us creating that through that fear, that collective consciousness, and that lack of awareness, that unconscious space. Yeah. It's just, those are the puppets that use that energy to get it out to more people. Yeah. And let me tell you something. It doesn't matter where you are in any of this. Right? If you think you're the good guy and I need to shout things from the rooftops because you need to be aware of it, you're in the same kind of fear as the other folks who are maybe, following along and just listening and kind of not looking for themselves. Yeah. But you want to know the good stuff? The good things, the good news is that really what's happening is not any of that. What's happening is we're taking a step up in our vibration and we're clearing the fear and we're clearing the karma. And the ones who are using the fear are fighting tooth and nail to stay in control. And so just step back, because even I was that turning off the news bit, and I'm going to go over this, kind of more as we go, but the turning off the news and all of that was partially because I started to go in this space of hopelessness. Oh yes, this one's going to come into power and then we're going to be really in trouble and so on and so forth. And that's an energy. And the minute I feel this hopelessness, and that's one of the things I also felt in that stream of collective consciousness, was this level of hopelessness. Oh, what's the use? Why am I doing any of this? Is there a purpose to it, to what I'm doing? Am I going to make a difference in this world? Am I going to help raise the vibration? Because that's what I'm doing here. That's I'm trying to kind of get everybody to sort of have a different perspective and look at it for yourselves so that we can all have this world where we're not sitting in fear and isolation. Sound good? I don't know. Sounds good to me. So when you notice, especially if you're an empath, the more intense and dense fear energies, you might want to turn off the news and surround yourself with beauty. What do y'all do when things become overwhelming? Do you take a walk? Do you meditate? What do you do? Drop some comments in the box. I know I see you all. I see you all there. I see a bunch of you here, so definitely I'd love to hear from you. Don't be shy. Uh, what do you do? But I, go out to the lakefront. I'm very close. I posted a picture of a really beautiful tree that was half it was half color, half green, and then half dead leaves. And so check my social media to see kind of what I wrote about that. But it's all about change, and the only thing constant is change, and that's really true. We're just in cycles. Oh, Richard. Yes, that's so funny. You're binge eating ice cream. I wonder if you were in my space because the other day I just wanted ice cream so bad. And I posted on my social media. It was the most commented on post I've ever written, which that just cracked me up. My mom says she talks to me. Lucky you. No, I talk. All right, here. So y'all, I talk to my mom every day, probably 6 times a day, but that's just me. So yeah, we chat. Marianne curls up in bed. Oh, I would love to curl up in bed. Once I am up, I am up. I'm all about. I have to do the movement thing. I'll go to CrossFit and pound that pretty good. Um, don't feel like Julie doesn't feel like doing anything. Yeah, I get that too. Sometimes I do that. And, by the way, that's what binge watching is good for. Not doing anything. Or, by the way, you all want to know what one of the biggest distractions is ever? I've been noticing. Does anybody play games, like computer games? Anything like that? I play Wordle, but that's once a day, and I play Connections too. That's also only once a day. That's just a really quick word game, get my brain going. But I play like Words with Friends. I love those kind of games like that where you're doing puzzles and everything. And holy cow, I will look up hours later and I'm still playing Words with Friends. Okay, that's a distraction, and that is an energy that will suck you in. And then when you get sucked in, the ads are working on your brain, the messages, whatever that is that's there. That's what it does. Right? That's why like the ads, oh, I'm going to add this other game or this other game. And that really keeps you out of your own zone, your own energy. It's an unconscious energy. Tammy says I sound like her husband. Oh, Richard. So her husband, um, Richard, Tammy's husband, and you have an ice cream thing. Hey, it's good. Tammy plays solitaire. And again, many people binge watch. Um, I don't get into binge watching too much. Every now and then there'll be something I'll want to see. But when we hit these intent, and you can keep dropping comments. I just have to. I'm gonna keep talking, and there's like always a delay. So if your comment isn't showing right away, don't worry. It's just the delay on the stream, and so but there's lots of you here, so this is fabulous. So when you notice those intense and dense energies that make you feel like sometimes you don't want to breathe and just surround yourself with beauty, turn on beautiful music, take a walk in nature, meditate. I just made a deal with a girlfriend that we're going to go hiking some of the forest preserves and things like that this fall and into the winter with one of my friends and kind of get some new scenery because that's good. And you can clean your home. I'm cleaning and purging my house. And one of the things my mom always said is cleaning is good for the soul. And she's actually right. 100,000%. Shout out to mom for the things that those things that she said, when I was growing up. But it's really a big deal. But do recognize that there's a lot of energy anytime you're going to make a change to your physical space. Yeah. So just do that. You can also harvest your wisdom. Now that's going to take a little bit of the meditation, right? That's going to be, you actually deciding to bring in more of your wisdom and illuminate your path. You can connect with your magic. It's in there. It's spiritual. It's not of the body. It's not you going to Starbucks or somebody yelling at you or a family thing. Your magic is within you. It's not part of our earthly experience. We are in this human suit, right? This body, we're the thing that animates it. And the reality is, really we're just kind of molecules and atoms and molecules and all these things. We are energy, and there's actually space between all our cells. So technically, I like to think of it as we're magnetized. Yeah. But connect with your magic. And okay, so I'll give a shout out because I'm a teacher and all of that. But I am here also not just doing these shows, but I do workshops and I do class series and clairvoyant development classes, right? There's a reason I do those. And on July, oh my God, on October 31st. So if you want to clear your space, I've got coming up on October 31st, we're doing a Halloween workshop. I do an annual holiday series. I've been talking about that the last few weeks. It's always up on my page and everything, but it's called Break the Spell, Past Lives, Karma, and Curses. We're going to look at the energy of karma and curses, and if any of that has been kind of played with on us in a past life where we've had that, we're going to actually be clearing that energy. I'm going to go into the whole thing. What is a curse? What is a hex? And I've done this for every year. And in fact, I wasn't going to do it. And a couple of my students contacted me and said, I hope you're doing that Halloween workshop. I'm going to take it again. So it's something that people take. So if it's something that you're interested in, you can point your phone at I turned my phone off today, but you can point your phone at that QR code. You can go to my website and it's got its own very own page for the Halloween workshop. Or right now, if you're online right now, you can actually find and my phone just turned on. That's great. All I did was pick it up. Shut up, Siri. That's crazy. But you'll be able to see the link. So even though it's on screen as a QR code, in the comment section, it's actually just a link and you can click on that link and go right to the page, get the full description. Every single thing that I do is all about you connecting with your spirit. You have this thing called free will to help you make decisions and create your future. And so all of these things, like when we clear a curse or when we clear some karma or just get our space back or even recognize our wisdom from a past life, that helps us to be in our own space. So there's all of that. Those are just some things that you can do. And I don't know what's going on by you, but I know I was talking about these sort of heavy and dense fear energies. And here's another kind of flip side to that is so exciting. So we've got the Chicago Marathon happening this weekend. So this city literally started yesterday. After sitting in sort of this fear and this crazy space I've been in, suddenly I noticed this excitement and this joy and this sort of nervousness, but not like bad nerve, the kind of nervous, like nervous excitement, because the Chicago Marathon is here. I want to give a very hearty shout out to all my folks running the Chicago Marathon this year. Run swift, run smooth. Good luck to you. I hope that you make your PR, but even if you don't get a personal record, just enjoy the race. I've run 3 of those little babies, 26.2 miles. I don't think my body would like that so much anymore, but I have run 3 of them. So if you ever want to know, it's really, really incredible. So shout out to all of those folks. And if you're here, say hello, put your bib number in the comments. No, don't do that. But I'll be tracking you. DM me, send me a private message, and I'm happy to track you. So yeah, I've been talking this whole time about our collective consciousness, and I haven't actually explained what it is. So our collective consciousness is exactly what it sounds like. It is a combined consciousness of all of our kind of thoughts and feelings and where we put our attention that comes alive with our thoughts and energy. And as I mentioned before, I see the collective consciousness as like a river that flows, right? And I can see what's happening in that space. I can actually read it. Yeah, it's just to me, and everybody might see it a little bit differently. You might see it as energy or a pulse or something like that. But I see that it's a river that flows with the pulse of life. And we actually give it energy and create sort of a new consciousness. Not one that's isolated, but just a new consciousness, whatever that is. So you can actually say hello to it as if it has a personality. And I just put up a message from Tammy. Thank you for that. Sorry for the delay and cutback. But if you could break all the family past life spells, that would be life-changing. Yes, it is. Join us, Tammy. October 31st. But so with regards to the collective consciousness, I called it the silent influencer because this particular consciousness, if we're not aware of it, right, and what we're adding to it, it starts to create what's going on in the world. And if we resist and we end up adding energy to the very thing that's being created. So what you see playing out in the world is exactly what our consciousness is creating. Also at the same time, so we're creating it, but there's also energy releasing. So, Richard's saying there's so much that seems designed to keep people in a low vibration. That actually is part of, well, here's how I'm going to address that, because that's actually part of that collective consciousness. And what that picture is, Richard, I'm just going to read it as a clairvoyant. That picture that we're supposed to be in this, lower vibration, or we're being, how would I say it? It's like being pushed down into the lower vibration or something, like, because it does feel like almost a pressure when we're looking at it or even experiencing it as an energy. But what I see is that that's part of the energy in the collective consciousness, and that energy says, you are a body. You are nothing more than a body. I hope that makes sense, even though I'm not trying to have you analyze it, but I hope it makes sense because bodies exist at a much lower vibration than spirit. And anytime there's a message that says what we are going through is real, right? That is a sort of an atheist, anti-spirit or no spirit energy, that spirit doesn't exist. But here's everything is energy. The light, this World Wide Web, this streaming platform, these lights that I've got going on here, all of this, everything is energy around us. And so, yeah, it does say that we should be in this lower vibration, because if we are being a body, we are much more affected by the fear and the energies that we experience, because the body reacts to vibration. It reacts to mental image pictures. It reacts to all of those physical things. Yeah. As spirit, we are free. We can go anywhere. We can fly to Paris without, spending however much money on the airline. It's all a completely different space. We're not being a body. We're not sitting in our ego and creating divides of I'm right, you're wrong, we're the good guys, you're the bad guys, any of those things. We're not creating any of that as spirit. Those are ego-based, body-based energies. Now, this doesn't mean you're going to go on a mountain and meditate and hit nirvana or go sit under a Bodhi tree. No, you came here to experience things. And yeah, it's 100%. People in low vibration are easy to control. And you know how they're controlled? I'm going to bring this right back to the beginning of the show here. And that's through fear. Because those low vibrations, if you're being a body and somebody says, we're going to take away from you this or that, or we're going to come after you, or somebody's doing you wrong, this person or that person. Yeah. And it's very subtle, which is why it's the silent influencer, because that's how it comes. And when we say, that's why they try and keep us there, here's what I'm trying to point out. There is no they. It's all of us. The minute we point the finger and say, it's them doing it to me, we are adding to that control and that fear and that consciousness. They're doing it to me and I'm afraid, and so I'm going to fight you. Right? That's how the collective consciousness, right? That's kind of how it works. Now, yes, there's a they, and there are energies out there that don't want this information. I was almost put down today. I felt so buzzy today. Oh my God. And it was like, you cannot say this information. You cannot say this, and I was like, okay, I'm going to say it because that's who I am. That's what's happening. But at its core, because we're talking about the collective consciousness, the silent influencer, right? That's today's buzzword. The influencers are doing this and that, and they're doing it on TikTok. They're doing it on YouTube. They're doing it everywhere, right? But at its core, collective consciousness is built upon the foundation of shared thoughts and emotions. Yeah. And by the way, I know my eyes move because I'm trying to look at the chat, and the chat's like down here. It's really I need another monitor. But here's the thing, we are not isolated beings. We're a part of a very intricate and beautiful network of energy that is connected with, all kinds of spirits, and all kinds of joy. And as spirit, we are that joy. It's really quite something. And we are all here at this time together. This is not random. We are on here. I mean, look, everybody's kind of saying, I don't listen to the news, but we need to be aware of it. You don't have to listen to the news, but you do have to be aware of what's going on, because that is part of it. Yeah. And you make your own reality, and you don't take on the energy, and just make sure you're not isolating in a space, because there's a danger to that too. You don't need to do that. And I'm not saying you're doing that, Richard, but I'm saying that you don't, it's not something we need to do, because this is not random that we're coming together every single week and doing the show. Oh, Angel, I didn't make it to, oh, well. It just occurred to me. Yeah. But none of this is random. We created these agreements long, long ago to be here at this time together, learning, raising the vibration, doing whatever we're doing. We created them long ago. It was really interesting because, I wish I'd pulled it up, because it was kind of interesting. We had a thing go on in the US where we had some history made this week that the Speaker of the House got ousted. And it was super interesting because one of my other colleague friends, and actually Clairvoyant students, who I've worked with her for years, posted under, I was just surprised because I hadn't seen the news, and I flipped it on, and there it was. I was like, oh my God, what did I miss? I've been working on my website. I've been, working on doing things for all of you. Anyway, and what she said is, well, if you think about the cycles, we're just coming full circle with kind of what went on after the last pandemic. And I thought about it, and I was like, wow, that's really interesting. And that's it. That's the cycles. We are definitely in some kind of cycle. So whether we are here all together, and we probably are here, right? Wait, I want to read this before people wake up to this reality. It's game over for governments and petty bureaucrats. Well, here's the thing. It's not even, yes, absolutely. Yes, it's, by the way, it's already game over. We are seeing the energy that's coming out that has to be released in order for it to create change, and for that collective consciousness, or how we do business, let's say, so to speak, the narrative, shall we say the narrative, we can call it the narrative, to change the narrative, and the game over, it depends, we're one of my teachers and mentors, Michael, always says, we're in this giant video game. So none of this is real anyway. It's just what we are all making real by our thoughts, and by our resistance, and by the collective consciousness. So we're all here together doing it, right? We're all a part of it. Even though we want to point fingers and say it's them, we are all a part of creating this, what Michael calls a video game. This non-reality of a reality that's a reality that seems like it's reality. But you're right. I love that you use that word even, Richard, because that's what this is. So we are all here together, and whether it's here to bear witness, I can't talk. Okay, wait. Let me just take it. Oh my goodness. So good. All the energy. What's amazing, and I don't know if you're aware of this, but when I do these YouTubes, I'm offering you much more energy and much more information and much more, many more, let's say, pictures that you can ponder, food for thought. I call it spiritual food for thought. Or if you saw the new word, it's called mindfuel, which I love, mindfuel. Offering you much more information than I can get the words out, because everything is happening as we're all being aware, and you're hearing my words, but you're also, uh, as spirit, you're also looking at different energies that I'm talking about. Yeah. So whether we are here to bear witness or act as healers in some way, or clear karma, we're all in this together by agreement. And our collective consciousness reflects where we are and also guides our future. So the power of this collective consciousness, this collective, we could call it a collective, we could call it a consciousness. You saw that play out in sort of what we would call a negative way with the Borg on Star Trek, that they had this one mind. In this case, instead of one mind controlling all those bodies, it's all the bodies and the spirits, the conscious, the various consciousnesses that are feeding, like sort of that river. Yeah. Feeding it with thoughts and energy. And we can put those thoughts randomly out there, or we can get caught up in that river. And if you think about it like debris in a flowing river, we don't want to get swept down the river. Yeah. But that collective consciousness very much influences our energy on a daily basis. It influences our experience. That's why, and I know some of you have challenges meditating, and you like to do it or don't like to do it, or might do it in the shower, but actually sitting down and consciously just quieting the mind. Because then you can start to become aware of maybe the fear or pain or isolation that has been affecting your experience, rather than thinking it's yours. Yeah. So that reason that I turned off the news was very much the same reason that some of you have put these great comments down, which I so appreciate, because I could feel the fear, and then I became fearful. And then I added fear to the collective. The minute I became afraid, I added fear to the collective. And it's not like we have to walk around on eggshells or anything like that. We just have to have our energy in our own little bubble, and have our awareness that we are also a part of it, and how we can create. If you resist and rant and judge and blame and divide and all of that, that's what you're adding to the collective. So I really, it would be interesting if you took note of all those times that you judged something, or you resisted it, or you blamed, or whatever. And this doesn't make you bad or wrong. I'm not having you, do this to punish yourself or anything like that. What I'm trying to do is give you a space to be able to look at it. Yeah. Because it doesn't matter which side you're on. There's no sides. The collective consciousness is like everything else. It's like cycles, and it's dynamic, and it's evolving all the time. As somebody said earlier, and I can't find the chat, I'm flipping through, but somebody said something about the 3D reality versus like 5D. And this consciousness, think of it like a person, another person, like they grow, like even babies grow, or puppies or kittens, we all grow. But with awareness of how and what we're adding to the collective, that's what creates a different reality. So the bottom line is, from a neutral space, we want to be aware of the energy that affects us, that sometimes we think is coming from us, but it's not. Yeah. It's kind of fun. I mean, think of it this way, like there's so much of that out in the world, and what Richard was talking about. It's so interesting that we think that there's that sort of energy of hopelessness or anything like that, but we can just as easily add joy and compassion, understanding, and love to the collective. And it might be interesting to see how the dynamic changes, how the experience changes, whether it's governments or whether it's, we pointed this organization or that organization, but if we step back and just add these energies to the collective, I wonder then what would sort of naturally happen. Yeah. It might be something interesting, and in fact, it's the only way that we can influence what's going on currently, the current narrative, and make a difference in the world, is by what we put into it. Yeah, that's an amazing thought. And I mean, I don't even know. In my lifetime, I was born in the '60s. We had, it was the Vietnam War, and then it was ending, and then, Kennedy got shot. Like there's so much history, right? I don't ever remember kind of a kumbaya kind of world. If anybody does, please put it in the chat, because I'd like to know. It's not that you haven't had a good experience in your life, but I'm talking about kind of globally. Tammy, thinking the other day that once we cross over, we're never alone. Here we can experience oneness alone. Solidarity, not solitary. Got it. Oneness alone, solid, and solidarity. And yes, we can experience solidarity, but we can also experience oneness here. We can have that when we tune in to that space, when we say hello to that collective consciousness and know what we're adding. Wowzers. Wowzers. Yes. But it's true. We're never alone. That awareness, it's a great thought. By the way, I love my little cat in the corner. And every time I put up a comment, it's so funny. But we're never alone. That's the fact that it occurred to you. You were thinking the other day that once we cross over, we're never alone. And now you just have to take that step to recognize that you're never alone here, right? We can experience oneness and solidarity sort of with people, and with our friends, or with our, we can be around people and still be happy in that space. So yes, keep those thoughts coming. That's introspection in sort of a different way. We're not, especially what I teach, and we're going to do a meditation in just a little bit, but in that space for the meditations, and I hope you'll all stick around for the meditation. And wow, hi, Angela, welcome. Oh my gosh. Hey, New Zealand. Stick around for that. And yes, we do feel alone. There's time, like, we do feel alone, but that's also a function of also being disconnected with our spirit. That's a very interesting thing. So yes, we do feel alone. I feel alone sometimes. And sometimes then that's when I know I need to sit down and what was that game show? Phone a friend. I have to phone a friend, or sometimes I'll call my mom, you know, all of that. We cannot over there. We cannot. Okay, not sure what that is, but we cannot. I'm thinking we cannot go over there. We don't want it. We don't have. If you're talking about going to the other side, we don't have to, but we can certainly go within and connect with the God of our heart, connect with spirit, connect with a friend. But yeah, that there's actually a thing in readings that I will see in people, and that is they're actually called lonely pictures, and they sit in your fourth chakra, right in your heart. And when those pictures come up, boy, it's almost heartbreaking, yeah. And so you're right, the oneness of spirit, which is over there as we see it, right? Because it's not in our consciousness, but we can certainly connect with it. Yeah, that brings me back to those past lives. Wow, we're wow, this is sort of going really, really fast as we go. But yes, this is us, coming together in community, communing, right? Not ignoring any kind of energy that's out there, but really becoming aware and conscious. And everything we're talking about, everything Tammy is talking about, everything Richard or anyone who has commented, and thank you so much for your comments. I really appreciate them. Everyone who is commenting, it's all incredibly valid how we feel, because our feeling cells our bodies. Yeah. So we definitely, want to add some good stuff to the collective. So just before we go into the meditation, so please do stick around because I've got a good one for you. We're going to put some energy into the world. We are going to connect so that we don't feel alone. We're going to bring spirit into our lives. But for now, I will do the little pitch right away. So I'm Debbie Tatel from Spirit Light Insight. I'm your host today for those of you who are watching later or on whatever channel that you're on. If you are enjoying what we are doing here, you can always support this show, support this stream with a virtual tip. Again, you can point your phone at the little QR code. The link for the virtual tip jar will show up in all, but I think it won't show up on maybe my personal page. But anyway, but otherwise you can always point your phone at this little QR code, which stays up here the whole time, and that will take you to there. Any amount is absolutely greatly appreciated. If you're interested in a reading, a past life reading, I'm getting my newsletter together too. So if you're not on that, definitely go to my website, spiritlightinsight.com. Wait, let me put that up for you. And at the bottom, you can, oops, wrong one again. You can sign up for my mailing list, but I'm getting together my October. It's a little bit late. Sorry. It's been a busy moment, but spiritlightinsight.com. You can sign up for my newsletter. You can see what we're doing. You can find all the things that you need. If you want to book a session, I'm doing past life readings and wisdom lessons and purpose and karma, all of that. We're really working that this month when veils are at their thinnest during this time of year between the physical realm and the ethers. Yeah, because this is the time to do that. So once again, you can find the link right in whatever stream you're watching from at this point, and you can book a session if it's something you're interested. But I would love to have a group of you come into this Break the Spell, Past Lives, Karma, and Curses workshop. It's one of my signature workshops. I have taught this thing for about 15 years or more every year. So it's definitely one of my signature workshops. It sometimes has a different name and a little bit of a different twist, but I'd love to have you come in to join us for that. And it's very affordable, as you can see, wherever you are in the world. And if you can't attend because you're on the other side of the world, you are welcome to register, and you'll get a recording of the reading. All registrants will get that. But, well, are you ready to tune in? What do they used to say? Tune in, turn on. I don't know. I don't remember what that saying was, but we are about to unmatch from that collective consciousness, that fear, that isolation, and any of that. And we are also going to give a little healing to that space just from your own, and you're not going to use your energy to do it. I'm going to guide you through on how to do it, and we're going to use a lot of visualization. So give yourselves a breath, and if you're comfortable doing so, wherever you are, just be seated with your feet on the floor, if you can, and gently close your eyes. Or you might, if you're in a space where you can't close your eyes, just turn your eyes downward and begin to turn your attention within. Give yourself a breath and just feel that beautiful air coming in. Go ahead, just breathe and release. Release your week. Even if you're working this weekend, just give yourself a breath. Give yourself a moment that this week is mostly over. Maybe you're into your Saturday already, and begin to turn your attention to the center of your head. Just be right in the center of your head. Rest your eyes. With every breath, begin to say hello to your physical body. Just be aware of it with your eyes closed or gaze downward. You might wiggle your toes if you can do that, and just feel your feet at the end of your legs. Fill your body with hope and joy and oxygen and energy. As you rest your attention in the center of your head, I'd like you to imagine or visualize, however you do that, a space that is just for you in the center of your awareness. A place that's comfortable, a place where you're in charge, a place where even if you're spiritually in there, you're not alone. You're connected with spirit, you're connected with the God of your heart. Have that little room be just for you. And just notice what it feels like, and put a smile on your face, knowing that you're in a space that's all yours. Say hello to that space at the tip of your tailbone, that first chakra, that energy center. It's at the base of your spine. and create a connection that goes from the base of your spine all the way to the center of the planet. If you know how to run energy, go ahead and do that. I see some of you out there do. And if you're brand new to this, just imagine that there's a tree that's rooted into the earth, and you can just flatten it out and imagine that you're sitting on top of it, sturdy and secure, giving yourself a space to release down the trunk of that tree. Get a sense of being loved and supported by Mother Earth as you are grounded and connected in. Begin to see a flow of energy going down that grounding connection, down that tree trunk or whatever you're using. And you can notice it'll be like a waterfall or a flow of energy that's releasing. I'm noticing that with all this spirit talk, people are releasing a lot of grief right now. And just let that go and be right in the center of your awareness, awake with space and having a space to be. When was the last time you connected with yourself in this way? Just give yourself some space. Go ahead and let go of any kind of mistakes or things you regretted or just your week, whatever went on during your week. Maybe you've got conversations going on with folks that the conversation's over, but you wish you'd said this or you needed to say that, and just go ahead and let all that go. And then as you tune into yourself and just breathe and release, just set your intent to begin to let go of any fear and control. As children, sometimes our parents would put some of those energies or pictures into our space. Because I'm actually seeing with several of you that there's childhood pictures that are coming up. Maybe you were afraid of your father, or maybe you had a controlling grandfather, or there was some kind of punishment involved there. So go ahead, and if that's the case, whatever's coming up, whatever thoughts are going through your mind, just go ahead and know that you are loved and supported by the earth. Mother Earth is supporting you, and anything you let go of, she knows how to recycle. And it might go from grief to love or anger to peace, or she's going to recycle it and transform it for you. Let go of your burdens, let go of any kind of that space that has controlled you this lifetime. Go ahead and breathe in peace and love and compassion. Allow that to transform your inside. And then as you exhale, you can exhale that transformation to add that to the collective consciousness. Transformation using peace and love and compassion. Once again, breathe in peace, love, and compassion. Allow it to transform within you, and exhale peace, love, and compassion into the world. Now, just feel, notice, and see what you're experiencing. Just acknowledge whatever that is, whatever your experience is, acknowledge it for yourself. And then I'd like you to bring your crown chakra, that's the energy center at the top of your head, the very top of your head, the crown of your head. Go ahead and imagine that it's all gold. As you unmatch the collective consciousness that seemingly creates what's happening in the world and makes it real. Imagine there's just this bright gold at the top of your head. And once again, breathe in peace, love, and compassion. Let it transform you within you. And then exhale peace, love, and compassion into the world. Be right in the center of your awareness, behind your eyes, in the center of your head, in your clairvoyant space. As you step out of the unconscious stream of consciousness, which there's a lot of unconsciousness in there. And every time we do this, and what we're doing here today, we are raising the vibration for everyone on the planet. Right now, we're doing it. So have that crown chakra, that energy center at the top of your head, all at a beautiful, light, angelic, or spiritual type gold. Breathe in peace, love, and compassion. And exhale peace, love, and compassion. Notice the love in your heart growing as you do this. Compassion for yourself, for others, peace within and outside of you. Love for yourself and all of humanity and the earth. Notice the difference in your experience right here and now, and that there is no past or future we need to worry about. Just be right here and now at gold. And then I'd like you to imagine just the earth, the whole ball of wax, the whole planet. Imagine how you might see it from space. And then just see it surrounded in a golden light. So you've got the earth inside another golden ball. If anybody ever wondered how to heal the world, you're doing it right now. You're offering healing, and breathe in peace, love, and compassion, and exhale peace, love, and compassion. Breathing for peace. breathing for love, breathing for compassion, and grace. We'll add that in. And now be right in the center of your head and tune back into yourself and your physical body. Just let the earth be surrounded in that golden light. And then go ahead and imagine a beautiful golden sun above your head. And you can call your energy, your life force energy into that gold sun. And you can also fill it with peace, love, and compassion. Just fill that gold sun up and watch it grow as you call back your life force from the collective consciousness, as you collect back up your energy from any resistance or fear. And then I'd like you to sort of sprinkle like fairy dust some energies that you would like to have for the weekend, whatever vibes you'd like, including an ice cream cone maybe, whatever you want to give to yourself. Sprinkle that into the gold sun. Maybe it's enthusiasm. Maybe you'd like to have more consciousness. Maybe you'd like to raise your own vibration, whatever you'd like. And then imagine that ball of light, that golden sun's coming right in through the top of your head and slips right on through your whole body, filling you up with golden light and all those energies, including your life force. Let it fill up every cell in your body and all the bodily systems, all the atoms and molecules and spaces in between. And let that gold sun expand out into your energy field, your aura, filling it up so that you're a ball of golden light, and that gold will neutralize anything that's in your space that you forgot to get rid of or didn't get rid of. Don't even worry about it. Just let it all get neutralized and go down your grounding. Now give yourself a breath. Breathe in peace, love, and compassion. Let it transform. Exhale, peace, love, and compassion. Give yourself a breath. Put a smile on your face for all that we did, and thank yourself for being here as you come back to your body. And go ahead and just wiggle your fingers and toes and just kind of have an awareness of your body and pat your body down. You might even give yourself a big energetic hug or wrap your arms around yourself and give yourself a hug. And when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. And you might want to look around your room and kind of reacclimate with the space that you're in. Great job, everyone. Welcome back. How was that experience? What did you notice? I'm hoping you felt the collective of the community that we have here and how that energy is set. And at the very least, some calming energies as you called back some of your energy from your week and just reclaimed your space and your energy. So you're welcome to put some comments in before I totally sign off here. Uh, yes. Thank you, Janet. Nice sense of peace. Great as usual. Well, thank you. So you're welcome and thank you. Thank you for being here. This is how we create a new space and a new community and a new, whatever you want to say, thought bubble of our own, a consciousness of our own. And Richard's saying, thank you. Oh, feeling connected. That's awesome. That was what I was going for. And it's interesting because I had a certain meditation that I was going to do when we started this discussion, and then it completely changed by the time we got to the meditation. And so it's like that. I wanted to make sure that everybody experienced being connected, even though we're in all different areas. We've got New Zealand, California, Canada, New Mexico. So there's people from all over, and those are only the folks that said hello. I'm sure that there's people watching in other places and will watch later. These streams do get a lot, but thank you all for being here. I so appreciate your support and creating this community. It's what keeps me going to do this, because I'm not necessarily, I might be a storyteller, but there's a lot that kind of is here. So I appreciate your continued support, and I'm going to keep showing up as long as you keep showing up, and be sure to subscribe for wherever you are. Like my page on Facebook, Spirit Light Insight, Debra Tatel. Subscribe to my YouTube, like and share that one. It's always appreciated to bring in new people and new folks. And we've got all kinds of things going on as we go, which is really fun. I mean, again, my holiday workshops are already up on my website, so you can check the booking page right on my website at spiritlightinsight.com. Readings and healings are always available. My schedule is been getting filled. It's been kind of like random, like I'll have a morning appointment and then an evening appointment and then kind of free day, which is great, because to all you 9-to-5ers out there, I do not know how you live your lives. Like, I do not know. It would overwhelm the daylights out of me. I don't know how people function now. So kudos to every single one of you who do that. But so all the workshops are open for registration. As I mentioned a couple of times, we've got Break the Spell, Past Lives, Karma, and Curses. That's the first one coming up in the holiday series. Then we've got, I'm calling it Holiday Magic. It's, I think, a week before our Thanksgiving here in the US. That's a freebie. So if you want to join us, certainly welcome to do any of them. The Break the Spell is $28, and the Holiday Magic, or what I fondly call surviving the holidays. We set our energy to have the holidays the way we want them, not the way they might usually go sometimes, because they're very stressful. And then we've got a winter solstice meditation, which is going to be great. That's going to be all a ritual. Anyway, you can find all that information on my website, right on my booking page. And let's see. Thank you, Richard. Many blessings to you for the week ahead, because I will like to wish. So once again, to all my folks running the Chicago Marathon, go you. You can do it. You got this. To everyone here, blessings for a beautiful week. Have a wonderful weekend and a new week ahead. And as always, as I like to say, keep your spirit light in sight and shine your light for all to see. Bye-bye for